Yeah.
How do you think your career would be different had Pelle not died?
Well, there was rumor flying that it was kind of weird, but I had heard that Pelle had died on Sunday, or whatever, and they were actually trading Bob Froese to L.A. on Tuesday.
So that was a death. That wasn't just a rumor. That was going to happen.
And I was coming up. I was backing him up.
Were you excited about that?
Oh yeah, it's going to be great. And that's basically, that was Hextall's. That was who knows, right? Hextall, right?
You mean the next year?
Yeah, like you don't know. Because Pelle's there. Next, he might not have ever gotten up.
Right, exactly.
You don't know.
Because it seemed that Keenan lost confidence in Froese, too.
Yeah. It just didn't seem like he could do enough what Pelle did. Pelle was his man.
So do you know why that was? Was it just because it was his first year and Pelle helped him get achieve those goals?
Yeah. Basically, that's exactly.
Because it sounds like, from what I've read, that if Pelle, as long as he didn't falter, it was his job to lose from day one.
And he didn't lose his job.
No.
He just kept playing good. Very rare he had bad games. And when you get established like that and you have the off game, it doesn't matter. You're going back in.
Right.
You know what you're capable of doing.
Right. How did you find out about the accident?
Oh, just we were in the minors. Or she were on the road, and they let John Paddock know, and then he told us, and we just sat and waited. Just didn't know what to do. I didn't know what they were going to do with the goalie situation. Or
Now, you and Hextall are in competition at that point, is that right?
Yeah.
So did you know which one would be called up? I guess you would have to be the front runner.
Well, at that time, I hadn't lost a game.
Wow.
Like 15-0-1 or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
I played 50. I hadn't lost a game.
Plus, you were the only one with NHL experience.
Yeah, if you want to call a game.
Well,
yeah.
But you were backing up, too.
Yeah.
So you were at least around it.
I knew I was ahead of him
Mm-hmm.
at that time. But I just, I was just kind of trying to figure out what their thoughts were. But yeah, so you don't know, right? Things could have changed. If he wouldn't have died, who knows? Like,
how would it affect your career?
It definitely. I could have lasted. I think I probably would have lasted longer.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so you would have been his backup.
I would have been his backup.
As opposed to Bob Froese's backup.
Yeah.
Why's that?
Well, Bob's gone. He's in L.A.
Right.
I'm up there and I'm playing 20 games a year, maybe. And all of a sudden you get a year under your belt, and you're another year, and you're established, and guys know about you. Whether you're labeled a backup or a number one, you're in the NHL and you got experience, and so that would have been a huge help. I mean, Keenan gave me the opportunity. I don't know if it was fair or unfair or whatever, but I had opportunity.
Right.
And it was up to me to lose it.
Right.
And if I played good, I stayed. I just maybe faltered at the end a little bit, but you could look back and say, well, they might have panicked or whatever, but who knows, right?
Yeah, I mean, it didn't work out anyway, even with the trade for Chico Resch.
Yeah.
It still wound up being a loss to the Rangers at the end.
Yeah.
You think flooring it, trying to go for the division title, might have had something to do with that?
No.
You don't think it wore the players down?
No. That was their philosophy. Every game is like your last game.
Right.
And they had, you're going for home ice.
True.
And it makes a difference. It can make a difference. If you go into a 7th game in the playoffs and you're at home.
Did you feel like you were in Pelle's shadow when you came up? That the fans would treat you differently because you weren't Pelle Lindbergh?
No, they were Phillies. You do well. They're your best buddies, and falter, they're all over you. And that's what Pelle said to me. I remember that. He said, you know, Jens, he said, I played, I bet you 20 games in a row, and I played great. And he said, then I had an off game at home, and he said, they are riding me.
Yeah. It's a tough town.
That's just the way they were. He said, you know, it's a tough town to play in.
Sure. It really is.
Yeah.
What was it depressing, or was it hard to take to leave the team? I mean, they had gotten so close, like you said, even the year before that, but I'm sure they got even tighter after his death. Was it depressing for you to leave that kind of situation and go maybe to a Vancouver team that wasn't that close?
Yeah, I just had a hard time. I was in probably the organization for about 5 years.
Right.
So I just had a hard time. I don't know. It was probably nothing. I just made a big deal out of it.
Out of what? Out of not playing for the Flyers?
Yeah, you know, I shouldn't have felt sorry for myself. And I went to Van, and that's when they got McLean and that, and they were really thick on goalies.
Right.
And I just got sent to the minors, and Wrigley just didn't want to play me, and so I just sat up in the stands in Milwaukee, and then I said, I don't want to play anymore.
You just retired?
Yeah, I just quit. I said, I don't want to play. You know, you lose the passion, and I said, it's time to go.
Sure, but at least you're still in the game. I mean, you're teaching kids, and...
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so you have a love of the game.
Yeah.
What are your favorite memories of Pelle?
He never, when he was playing, it just wasn't a big deal. Like, he's just, like, he didn't make it as big deal as really what it was. He was just kind of a normal guy.
Right.
You know what? Like, he's a normal guy that loved watches and fast cars and that, but the Swedish, all the European guys, they just had that great attitude. Just show up and play and do your best.
Did he share any of that with you? Any of those rides in the cars, or, you know, going looking at boats or anything like that? I know you said you didn't hang with them much, but you never had a chance to do that kind of stuff?
No. Like I said, goalies don't usually hang.
Yeah.
In Philadelphia, they always kept you in different rooms. You had your own room.
Goaltenders.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
They always had their own hotel room on the road.
Right, so
you don't roommate with anybody.
So it's very quiet between goaltenders.
Yeah, exactly. Just that's the way it usually is. You don't see too many guys at that level hanging out all the time because you're competing.
Oh, yeah.
You know,
that's your livelihood at that point.
Yeah, so you don't see, guys won't be that close. But he's always nice to me. Same as pros, he was just, you know, some guys can be really, you know, young guy coming up, but they're always civil to me and nice, and so that was great. I never thought much more into it.
But they didn't go out of their way to be extra friendly.
No. Bob was good. Like, when he's playing, right, Bob was good. But, no, like Pelle, you know, he just didn't hang. I was, like I said, I was living with Zezo, and Talkett was in the complex and Crossman, so I just kind of hung with those guys.